We are here in South Africa, in Johannesburg, in Gold Reef City, in the one and only theme park in South Africa. And with me are Mpume and Andrew. And we're going to shine a little light on what it is like to operate a theme park in South Africa and what the African landscape is looking like tourism-wise and theme park-wise. So, both, thank you for joining me. Andrew, you're running this park. It's the only theme park in South Africa. What challenges does that bring?
Being relevant is probably our biggest, I say challenge is not really the right term, is we are the only one. We are unique, and we've also got a theme around the theme park as well. As you know, it's all around the gold mines where Johannesburg started years and years ago. So that part of it is really interesting and really, really good fun. And it ties in with the education syllabus. The rides are also, I mean, they're absolutely fantastic. It's getting to that point where we can put in new attractions as well. And that's where the biggest hurdle comes in, because everything's imported, everything's in pounds, euros, and dollars. So we need to be very strategic about what we do in the next couple of years to make sure we get the right ride, being able to push, more people in, give more people a good time, enjoyment, et cetera, and see a return on that investment over a certain amount of time, which hopefully isn't like 50 years. Yeah, it needs to be a bit shorter. So it's getting that juggling act right.
Yeah.
But those are plans in place.
And you mentioned education. Can you tell a little bit of what you do for education in the park?
Absolutely. So we've got the gold mine itself, and Gold Reef City is built on the old farm Langlaagte, which back in the late 1800s is where gold started. The first gold was found literally where we're sitting at the moment, over 100 odd years ago. And you literally go through where gold started to where we are now, because that's Johannesburg. And that is never going to change. And it's all relevant, and it's so South African.
Every time we talk budget in theme parks, we often say, what if we just have a gold mine, have unlimited budget? This park actually has its own gold mine, literally. It's I think, unique in the world. Mpume, you are from AAVEA. Can you explain a little bit for the people that might not know AAVEA, what you do?
Yeah, thank you. So AAVEA is the African Association of Visitor Experiences and Attractions. It's really the only association on the African continent that provides education and learning opportunities for professionals within the visitor attractions and experiences industry. We started in 2014 as an annual conference, and it was only in 2018 that the regular attendees of this conference said, actually, let's put together an association. We need someone to advocate for the importance of the sector and how it contributes to the economy. And we need someone to represent us in terms of, those unique opportunities and challenges that face this sector within if you think of the entire tourism spectrum, visitor experiences and attractions really sit at the center of a total visitor experience.
Exactly.
And that's how important it is.
Because I always, when I hear South Africa, and also during the summit that we had this week, we hear a lot about tourism.
Yep.
Not as much attractions, but tourism. And does that bring challenges in a sense? Do people sometimes maybe not realize there are attraction?
Yes. There's still a huge challenge on the African continent where many attractions think that, the definition of an attraction is a big attraction such as Gold Reef City. But you get smaller attractions who adds to the diversity and richness of experiences on the continent. And they are equally attractions. When on our website, for example, we define what an attraction is, which is anything from a theme park to a gallery, to an adventure activity, zoo, you name it, nature park, nature reserves, game reserves. There's a lot within that particular area. And so, that's what we do. And an attraction really is any product, man-made or natural, that is either paid for to access or not paid for, but that contributes to an experience that visitors can then appreciate.
Do you see the same? I mean, being the only theme park in the country, do you sometimes have to explain what it is, or I'm from the Netherlands, and it's really a lot in our culture to go to theme parks. We have many, and approximately everyone goes to parks every year. How is that here in South Africa? Is it marketing-wise? Is it more complicated, do you think, or?
Gold Reef is part of the landscape, specifically the theme park. People know about it. People have been coming here for years and years and years. Once again, it's remaining relevant because there's always something else to do. As you say now, there's other attractions to go to. I mean, if you want to go to a theme park, there's one place to go. That's here.
No.
If you want other experiences around it, if you're not, you don't want to go sit on a ride because you're 25 years old now and you're past that kind of thing. What's going to bring you to the property? And that's where we are now finding ourselves. There needs to be more to it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of work that we're doing on the casino side from an entertainment perspective, not literally on the gaming side of it. So there's a lot that we can do there too to drive more people into the area as well. There's a lot of focus on the southern parts of Johannesburg. It's historically hasn't been the best area from an opinion perspective, but there's a lot of influx of new business coming in, our development going around the area as well. So here you can look at it from an opinion perspective. The South isn't as safe as other areas. That's, again, anywhere you go. But there's a lot that we need to do from a marketing perspective to remain a destination that people want to come to. If you don't want to go to a theme park, what are you going to come here to? There's bowling, there's movies, there's dinner, there's all types of things you can do.
Yeah.
It's remaining first of mind for people to go to.
Exactly. So it's really the brand instead of actually being a theme park.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. If you look at what is going on in South Africa at the moment, I think there's a lot of economic development, new developments going on, like you mentioned. What do you foresee the future like?
Now specifically, there's a lot of positivity around the country too.
Exactly.
There's a change in exchange rates. Interest rates are going to come down. That means there's more disposable income for people as well, which means people like us have got more relevance because you've actually got money to go out and spend. A lot more tourists come in as well. Maybe not, thinking how great it is at 24 to 1 to the pound. Maybe it's 22 to 1 or 21 to 1, but it's still a really good holiday, really good value.
Absolutely.
And it's not to knock the other parts of the country because, if I said to you, do you want to go spend 2 weeks in Cape Town or the Winelands? You'd be there 2 minutes. But Johannesburg has got a certain relevance to it as well, which it used to have, but now more so than ever. Johannesburg, Gauteng, and the wider part of the province. It's a really, really beautiful part of the country.
Exactly. You feel the buzz.
Correct.
Right? There's something going on. That's
two very different mindsets. Cape Town is chill, relaxed.
Joburg is the hub of Africa.
Correct.
It is.
Yeah, it's really a microcosm. Africans come here and live here, and they aspire to become a Joburg person.
Yeah.
So if you're the African Association, now talk a lot about South Africa, but what is it like in the other countries in Africa?
So the attractions on the African continent, Peter, are predominantly natural and also of heritage significance. And so you find that throughout the landscape of the entire continent, from Cape to Cairo and back, you have that kind of predominant attraction as compared to man-made attractions that you find mostly in the first world countries. And so that for us means that it's a unique type of region of the world, but it also gives us tremendous opportunities. If you look at this model of Gold Reef City, for example, where you have an important asset in terms of the history of the mines here in Gauteng or in Johannesburg, but this is packaged with modern technology, modern type of attractions around it. You have a model for the entire African continent. That's what we believe. That's my vision, at least, for the future of the African continent, where you've got so many stories on the African continent in terms of our heritage and our nature. Shaka Zulu in Durban, you've got Mapubungwe in, at the up north, Limpopo, you've got Masai Mara in Kenya, Kunta Kinte in West Africa. But you take those kind of stories and package them with your workmanship that you find, everywhere in the first world countries, or technology that is modern, VR, augmented reality, you name it. There is just such an opportunity to marry those two and give the world attractions that they've been waiting for time immemorial.
Yep, I agree. If we wrap up, what is the one thing you think people at home should know about attractions in Africa?
If we're talking literally Gold Reef City, there's nowhere else like it that's authentic as Gold Reef City. From a complex perspective, not just a theme park. I can put that into one little microcosm. We have got so much to offer, so much to see, so much to do.
Yeah.
And it doesn't just stop at Gold Reef City. You've been to Sun City for the past couple of days.
Yeah.
Johannesburg has got a lot to offer. The winelands, Cape Town, absolutely. It's a no-brainer. But Johannesburg has definitely got a lot to offer and a lot to see. And there's a lot of benefit spending at least a week in Johannesburg.
So,
Sure. The variety of options that you have if you're a visitor and you're coming to this part of the continent is you have just here at Gold Reef City you have Apartheid Museum before you even exit the gates, and we have gastronomy, like food tourism. You've experienced for yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
The kind of food that we offer and the variety of them. You have, adventure activities that you find all over this particular province and also elsewhere on the continent. You have, if I come out of South Africa, just up the north in Zimbabwe, you have the Vic Falls, which are part of the 7 wonders of the world.
Yeah.
You have a lot of game reserves with the Big Five. This morning, we enjoyed the Big Five in Pilanesberg.
Oh, you did. I did the Big Three.
You did the Big Three.
I was in a different
You went with the wrong group.
Always follow Mpume, that's for sure.
Yeah, so there's such a variety of things to do. He talks about the wine experiences in the Cape. So if you just look at the entire landscape on the African continent in terms of attractions, you find a rich variety, really. You go up north to a place like Senegal, you see the whole monument of freedom for that particular region on the continent. There's quite a lot of new attractions, museums that are mushrooming. And it's amazing to see the kind of support that is involved when it comes to bringing to Africa new type of attractions. Just down in Durban, I believe there's going to be a Club Med kind of attraction that's being worked on and built at the moment. So the variety is really endless.
Yeah.
I'm not even touching the surface.
Absolutely. And as you mentioned, the wine fields in Cape Town, AAVEA, one of the AAVEA members is actually one of those wine fields. So thank you both so much for your insight and time and for sharing that with the viewers at home. Thank you very, very much.
It's a pleasure.
That's a vision.
Thank you.
Thank you.